Welcome back to calm and cozy bedtime. Tonight we will explore a warm and interesting story about a cat's adventure in a mysterious old mansion. Gently curl up in a warm blanket, let your worries melt away with each breath, and get ready to embark on this gentle journey. In the dim light of the night, the mansion lies quietly among the old trees, each hidden corner carrying the breath of time. Our cat, with soft fur and sparkling eyes, is always curious about the soft sounds coming from the old room in the far corner. Tonight, it decides to explore the secret hidden behind those ancient doors. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let your soul sink into the peaceful space of the story. This journey is not only an adventure, but also a healing medicine, helping you find peace in every gentle rhythm of your dream. Are you ready? Let's get started. Oliver, an orange tabby with shiny fur and curious green eyes, is lost in the middle of a bustling city. The city is a noisy and unfriendly place, especially for a small cat like Oliver. He weaves through narrow alleys, avoiding the hurried footsteps of passers-by. Each car horn blaring makes him jump. The chaotic sounds and movements make his little heart pound, both scared and tired. No one stops to pay attention to Oliver, a stray cat, hungry and exhausted after a long day of searching for shelter. He just walks, slowly and unsteadily, through unfamiliar streets. Then, like magic, Oliver comes across a quiet, secluded path, covered with weeds and almost hidden by overgrown bushes. The path led to an abandoned mansion, tall and gloomy. The windows were all covered with wooden boards, the paint peeling off, revealing streaks of rotten wood. On the walls, tangled vines seemed to embrace the building, hiding secrets that had been forgotten by time. A quiet and mysterious atmosphere covered this place, completely opposite to the noise of the city he had just left. With an irresistible curiosity, Oliver gently crept through the rusty iron gate that was half open. He stepped into the garden, covered with dry leaves and weeds. Everything seemed to be waiting, inviting Oliver to explore the hidden wonders of the mansion. But he had no idea that he was about to embark on a journey that would change his life. The mansion was immersed in silence. Only absolute silence seemed to imprison memories that had long been forgotten. The air inside was thick with dust, carrying the musty smell of time. Oliver, with his keen ears and instincts always on alert, slowly walked into the large main hall. All his senses were on edge, as if every breath made the space around him vibrate. Spiderwebs hung everywhere like ghostly curtains, swaying gently in the thin breeze that blew through the cracks of the doors. The pale moonlight filtered through the gaps in the boards that tightly closed the window frames, creating strange patches of light and dark, dancing on the old wooden floor of the house. Oliver walked lightly, his soft feet sliding across the wooden floor, where each step made a creaking sound that made the house seem alive. He followed the long hallway, each turn leading to mysterious rooms. Some were filled with white-covered sofas, looking like silent ghosts in the darkness. Some had towering bookshelves, books stacked in disarray. Some of them had fallen to the floor and were covered in dust. The large mirrors on the walls, hazy with age, reflected Oliver's small image, making him flinch slightly. The deeper he went into the house, the more it seemed like the place wasn't completely abandoned. There was something strange. Occasionally, he heard small noises, like the whisper of air through cracks in the door, or the faint sound of footsteps coming from somewhere. Each time, Oliver stopped, ears perked up, blue eyes wide, trying to determine the source of the sound. But after a few tense seconds, there was only an eerie silence. He entered a large room with a huge marble fireplace with intricate carvings. On the mantelpiece, Old picture frames were covered with dust, hiding stories from the past. A large chandelier hung from the ceiling, small crystals glittering in the moonlight like forgotten stars. Oliver jumped onto a nearby armchair, where the fabric had torn and the cushions were exposed. From there, he scanned the large room, eyes curious and cautious. Then, in the silence, a soft sound rang out, a knock, very soft but clear, coming from the end of the hallway. Oliver stopped, his senses stilled. It was not a natural sound, and it came from somewhere deeper in the house. A feeling of fear and excitement rose up, urging him to move forward. He couldn't stop. This house was whispering to him, inviting him to discover secrets that had been dormant for decades. Oliver was not alone in the mansion. As he crept through the silent rooms, he stumbled upon a family of field mice nesting in the old library. The little mice, with their black eyes gleaming in the darkness, were initially frightened by Oliver. They huddled together, shivering among the old books and rotting shelves. But Oliver, with his gentle purrs and friendly gestures, quickly allayed their fears. The mice gradually felt more secure and began to tell Oliver about the history of the mansion. Long ago, this place had been the center of lavish parties and loud laughter. They told of splendid balls, the light from the crystal chandeliers shining throughout the great halls. Nobles in their splendid costumes had walked through the corridors that were now only a shelter for dust and time. But one day, everything stopped. The owner's family suddenly disappeared, leaving the house in oblivion, and the beautiful memories gradually covered by darkness. Oliver listened attentively. Each story seemed to ignite his curiosity. He realized that this mansion was not just a forgotten place. It was a giant book full of secrets waiting to be discovered. After leaving the library, Oliver continued his journey and found his way to the old attic. There he met a special character, an old owl with brown feathers streaked with snow white. This owl, with its bright, wise eyes and deep voice, was like the living soul of the mansion. Its you cry echoed through the empty rooms, making the place even more mysterious. The old owl introduced himself as a guardian of memories of the house. It tells Oliver about the family that lived there, a stern father, a gentle mother, and children who always brought laughter to the house. But over time, tragedy struck. An unspeakable event forced the family to leave this place forever, leaving the mansion and all its possessions as if they had only left for a moment. The old owl also tells of the secrets hidden within the walls of the mansion. Secret tunnels, hidden rooms, and even treasures that no one remembers. Oliver, fascinated by these stories, feels like he is gradually becoming a part of the history of this place. Each time the old owl tells, Oliver imagines the house coming to life, light laughter and forgotten dreams. But alongside the beautiful memories, there are also shadows of the past that the house does not want anyone to know. These things only fuel his curiosity. Gradually, Oliver realizes that he has not simply stumbled upon an old mansion. This place contains a soul, an unfinished story. The family of field mice, the old owl, and other creatures here are not only residents, but also guardians of memories. He feels a connection, a sense of belonging that he has never felt before. Oliver, from a lost cat, has now found a place not only for shelter, but also for learning, discovering, and belonging. And in his bright eyes, there is a determination to discover all the secrets that this mansion is waiting to reveal. As the days passed and the nights gave way, Oliver soon came to regard the abandoned mansion as his home. The vast, silent space seemed made for him to explore and have adventures. On nights when the soft moonlight streamed in through the cracks in the windows, Oliver would often play in the grand ballroom. Silver streaks of light danced across the old wooden floor, and he would play along, as if trying to catch the moonlight. Every time he jumped or glided, a small sound echoed throughout the empty room, breaking the decades-long silence. Gradually, Oliver began to discover the secrets that the mansion held. He discovered secret passages behind the bookshelves in the library. Narrow, dark hallways led him to forgotten rooms filled with old objects. There were stopped clocks, faded picture frames, and small locked boxes that he could not open. Oliver felt that each item carried a story, a piece of memory of the people who lived here. One night, when the moon was high and the mansion was dimly lit, Oliver decided to climb the spiral staircase leading to the top floor. Each wooden step creaked as he walked, but nothing could stop his curiosity. When he reached the top, Oliver was greeted by a beautiful scene. The city lights twinkled in the night, like gems scattered on a mysterious black carpet. The night wind blew through, carrying the scent of freedom and peace, making Oliver's little heart feel lighter than ever. However, not all discoveries brought a pleasant feeling. One night, when Oliver was curled up resting in the cold corner of the fireplace, he heard a strange sound coming from the basement. It was a soft noise, like someone was dragging something on the wet ground. Oliver stood up, ears perked up, eyes wide with alarm. Though his heart was pounding, curiosity once again overcame his fear. He walked slowly down the stairs to the basement, one step at a time. The space became darker and colder as he got closer to the source of the sound. The smell of mold and dirt filled his nose, but Oliver did not falter. When he got there, he found an old wooden door, almost hidden by dust and cobwebs. He used his small feet to push the door open, and it slowly creaked open, emitting a faint groan as if protesting at being disturbed. Inside was a small room, filled with a strange feeling. Old toys were scattered everywhere, teddy bears, wooden trains, and dolls with eyes that had faded with age. But the most special thing was that this space did not have the sad look of the rest of the mansion. Instead, it held a strange sense of playfulness, as if the laughter of children still echoed in the air. Oliver entered the room, and he felt as if someone was watching him, but not in a creepy way. It was a warm presence, like a new friend welcoming him. Suddenly, a small, old train rolled across the floor without anyone touching it. Oliver jumped up, trying to catch the train, but it quickly stopped, as if playing with him. Little by little, Oliver began to feel more comfortable. He jumped from toy to toy, as if they were all alive and welcoming his presence. Laughter echoed in his mind, not real laughter, but a feeling of joy that filled him, dispelling the loneliness in his heart. He spent hours in that room, playing as if time had stopped. His leaps and his excited grabs brought the small room to life, filled with a long-forgotten energy. Oliver felt with every movement that he was no longer alone. The room, with all its old objects and hidden memories, had become his sanctuary, a place where he found joy and connection. As the moonlight faded and dawn broke, Oliver returned to the great room. But in his heart, a part of the basement room had become home. And he knew this was only the beginning of the stories, the adventures of the night that this mansion had in store for him. One sunny morning, the light flooded the dense garden surrounding the mansion. In the quiet space, a little girl named Lily happened to walk through this area. Lily was an animal lover, with bright eyes and a sensitive soul. She was attracted by the wild beauty and mysterious atmosphere that surrounded the abandoned mansion. The rows of ancient trees covered with vines and the garden full of weeds seemed to tell the story of a forgotten time. As she entered the garden, Lily saw a strange but beautiful image, an orange tabby cat curled up in the warm sunlight, its fur shining like gold. It was Oliver, the silent guardian of the mansion. Lily stopped, observing from afar. She did not want to startle the cat, but her curiosity and affection made her decide to come closer. Oliver, who was familiar with the peace of the mansion and his friends, the field mouse and the old owl, was a bit hesitant at first. He stirred slightly, his bright green eyes fixed on Lily. But Lily, with her natural gentleness, bent down and gently reached out her hand to him. Her soft voice rang out, like a lullaby that made Oliver feel secure. Although still a little wary, when Lily's small hand touched his soft fur, Oliver gradually relaxed. From that day on, Lily began to visit Oliver every day. She brought small dishes, sometimes biscuits, sometimes a little fish, which she carefully prepared to get the cat used to. Every time she came, Lily brought not only food, but also stories. She told Oliver about her life, about the small village where she lived, and her dreams. Oliver listened, as if understanding every word she said. In return, Oliver led Lily into a world she had never seen before. He showed her the secret passages of the mansion, leading her through dark corridors to rooms filled with forgotten treasures. Lily felt like she was lost in a magical world. She was fascinated by the exploration, but what impressed her most were the stories that Oliver seemed to convey through his actions. Stories of lavish parties he heard from the old owl, of happy memories told by the family of field mice. One day, Lily returned home and told her parents about the abandoned mansion and the special cat she met. Her story made them curious. Lily's parents decided to go with her to the mansion to see the place she had always told them about. When they entered the garden and saw the moss of the house, they felt an old beauty buried by time. But what moved them most was Oliver, the orange tabby cat lying quietly on the steps, his blue eyes seeming to welcome them. They decided to do something that no one in the village had ever thought of: restore the mansion. With the help of the workers, each layer of dust was cleaned, each window was opened to let in light. The empty rooms were gradually filled with the laughter of people. The once forgotten space became more alive than ever. Throughout the restoration process, Oliver became the center of attention. He was not just a cat, but the living soul of the mansion, leading Lily's family on their journey to restore the memories of this place. He was always present in every activity, quietly observing while everyone worked, or happily running around their feet as if cheering them on. As the mansion gradually regained its original beauty, Lily's parents decided to welcome Oliver into their family. For them, Oliver was not just a cat, but also a friend, a protector who connected them to this special house. Lily, with deep love, always takes care of him with all her tenderness. Oliver, from a lost cat, now has a real family. He is no longer alone, no longer has to fight the world alone. He has Lily, new friends, and a home full of love. Every time the sunlight shines through the large windows of the mansion, he curls up in Lily's arms, feeling the warmth not only from the sunlight but also from the family he has found. And so, the life of Oliver, of Lily, and of the old mansion enters a new chapter, a chapter filled with hope, laughter, and memorable memories. The mansion, from a dark place filled with whispers of the past, now becomes a home filled with laughter and warmth. The space that was once covered in darkness and dust is now replaced by the light of love and vitality. Every corner of the house seems to come back to life, carrying new stories and bright memories written by the people who live there. At the center of it all is Oliver, the once lonely and lost tabby cat. Now he is the heart of the home. He curls up by the fireplace, the flames dancing on his shiny orange fur. Lily sits beside him, reading adventure stories to him, her warm voice mingling with Oliver's purrs of contentment. Sometimes he closes his eyes, but his little ears perk up, listening to every word as if understanding its meaning. In the afternoons, Oliver plays in the restored garden, where flowers have returned to bloom. Butterflies flutter in the golden sunlight, and Oliver, with his playful cat instincts, chases them through the flower beds. The laughter of Lily and the other children echoes throughout the garden as they play hide and seek, or run after Oliver, trying to catch him but never succeeding. A new member of the family also joins the family, a golden retriever named Max. At first, Oliver was a little hesitant in Max's presence, but with his friendly and cheerful personality, Max quickly became his great companion. They often chased each other down the hallways, or lay side by side in the shade of the garden. Whenever Lily saw that scene, her heart was filled with happiness. Oliver not only had a family, but also real friends. On quiet nights, when everyone had fallen asleep, Oliver would quietly stroll around the mansion. He walked through the hallways that were now lit by the soft glow of night lamps. The rooms that were once cold and empty were now warm with new furniture and family pictures on the walls. Oliver's purring echoed throughout, a reminder that this house was never lonely again. Although Oliver's new life was filled with joy, he did not forget his old friends. The family of field mice still lived peacefully in a corner of the garden, and he often stopped by but quietly watching them play under the trees. The old owl in the attic was still there, occasionally chatting with Oliver late at night. They no longer told sad stories about the past, but shared the joy of a happy present. The mansion was now more than just a place to live, but also a symbol of recovery and hope. Lily and her family had turned it into a home where everyone built new memories together. Oliver, from a lost cat, was now an indispensable part of this story. He had found not only a home, but also a family who loved him unconditionally. Oliver's life was a testament to the power of friendship, kindness, and a little adventure. His lonely, wandering days were now a distant memory. He is the protector of the house, the friend of all the family members, and the little fire that always brings warmth and joy to everyone around. Under the bright moonlight, Oliver lies on the steps of the mansion, his bright blue eyes looking up at the starry sky. He is no longer a lost cat in the city. He is a member of the family, or a part of the story, and a living proof that sometimes, with just a little love and patience, we can turn everything into magic. And so, the old mansion is now filled with laughter, light, and new stories. A happy ending for all. Oliver, Lily, and the family have found each other, and in that journey, they have also found the true meaning of the two words, home. Thus ends the story of Oliver, the adventurous cat, who found his home and family in the most unexpected place. From a lost cat in the city, Oliver embarked on an unexpected journey, discovering the secrets of an ancient mansion and finding love from Lily's family. Close your eyes and imagine Oliver curled up by the warm fireplace, eyes half closed and purring contentedly in the peaceful space. His adventures not only bring joy to himself, but also bring smiles and warmth to everyone who meets him. In your sleep tonight, let the image of Oliver and that magical mansion guide your sweet dreams. Believe that, with kindness and friendship, every journey can become a beautiful story, and every heart can find a place to belong. Good night. If you love Oliver's peaceful journey, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your friends to enjoy more relaxing stories before bedtime. These gentle moments can be a wonderful gift for the soul. Join us in making every night a warm and fulfilling experience. Thank you for joining us, and sweet dreams.